I start with this? Alright, so I guess I'll just start from the beginning here. As you may or may not know, I grew up with the original Saved by the Bell. Big fan of it, actually. Matter of fact, I didn't even mind the new class or the college years. So when they announced that there would be a Saved by the Bell revival, I was interested. I was iffy, but I was interested. And then the trailer was released, and I was a little more skeptical, because it didn't look like the Saved by the Bell I remembered. And so now I found out that it's been released on the Peacock today, the entire first season. But you can only watch the first episode for free. You gotta pay for the rest. Yeah, but I'm not here to voice my opinion on that. I think it's stupid, but... Because there was that David Schwimmer comedy that came out I wanted to watch, but it was only the first episode. The rest you have to pay for. You have to get a premium account. Even though they advertise on TV, Peacock, it's free. Yeah, okay. So, anyway, so I watched the first episode, and I just want to say, they ruined it. They ruined Saved by the Bell. I'm sorry, this is not Saved by the Bell. This is terrible. It's some progressive, how do I put this? It's an agenda show. It's got an agenda. It's one of those kind of shows that is masking itself as a classic TV show. You know, something you're familiar with, but then it's hitting you with all this stuff. And, we focus on the poverty of one thing, and, this one girl wants to be president. The guy who should be on a football team is singing, and this black girl, she wants to play for the football team. No girls can't play football, but, she's being progressive because she's a girl. Hey, there's the one character, she's transgender, that's cool, but they gotta flaunt it in front of the camera, and they gotta promote that she's transgender. They can't just let her be in the show. They have to have Mac Morris say, hey, she's going on a journey, she, transitioning from a boy to a girl. She's trans. It's like, you don't have to... I'll never understand writers that they can't just have a character who's transgender and not have to throw them in front of you and with a big sign, metaphorical sign saying, hey, I'm trans, or I'm gay, or something like that. The whole thing, now, while it was funny, a good one is Will and Grace. Now, the show is about a gay man and a straight woman, and their friend is also gay, right? But the way they presented the gay characters in that show, they were on parade for every minute of the show because they were so flamboyant. And here, while it's not as flamboyant, it's not as in your face type thing, the fact that they have a line indicating that she is trans, and it's not even her saying it, it's Mac Morris. We'll get to that in a second. She's on a journey. She's going. She's trans. She's transgender, or whatever. It's just like, you don't need to tell us. All right, have her state it. Glee and Degrassi have handled transgender characters better than this, because they actually have the character go on a journey. The character itself deal with being trans, or being gay, or being a lesbian. Dealing with that. Not have another character just spit it out and say, they're trans, or they're gay, or they're lesbian. She likes chicks. He likes the dudes. You could have done better. Also, I don't like the format. I don't like how they're doing sitcoms nowadays. The sitcoms, to me, are the 4-camera format with a laugh track or a live audience. Like this show was. This is one of those I call just a comedy show where it's one camera, it's no audience, no laugh track, and to me it doesn't work as well. Also, they've completely ruined Bayside. First of all, let me tell the story of this, alright? The story is that Zach Morris, who's now governor, and when I heard that recently, I'm like, no, there's no way he could become governor, but I do like, the way, there's no way. His grades, he barely graduated. Watch the original show, and I'm serious, he barely graduated. He didn't even finish college, for God's sake. And he's governor. But as it turns out, and I like how they explain this, it's one of the things I do like. He scammed his way out of a parking ticket and made himself become governor. That's a very Zach Morris thing to do. Although I do, another thing I laughed at is that they were showing, his history with Saved by the Bell, and he says after, everything, he became a lawyer, and it's clearly a screenshot from Franklin and Bash. It's him and Breckenmeyer. It's clearly Franklin and Bash. His hair's not even the same color, because if you don't know, Mark Balgosler dyed his hair blonde to play Zach Morris. I did like that. But the big solution is to take, because they're having problems with schools, and they take these students from the lower public schools and put them in the high-end public schools like Bayside. And first of all, I never thought that Bayside is this big, expensive, high-end school. Yes, there was a lot of gorgeous-looking people there. Yes, but they were still nerds. They were still idiots. They even did fundraisers. So the fact that they're presenting Bayside as this rich, preppy school, it's not really a prep school, but you know what I mean? With a lot of money, it doesn't make any sense. That's not Bayside. And they've ruined Bayside by showing more than just what we know from the original. I know they're on a budget in the original show. They probably have more money here. But the original show, all you saw was one hallway, the principal's office, a classroom or two, and maybe another hallway with some lockers. And a parking lot sometimes. And there was one episode with an elevator. But other than that, you never saw much of the school. Here we have an entire freaking entryway. It looks like a mall. No. And I'll never understand why they do reboots of TV series and decide to focus on the main characters, the characters from the original show, their kids. Girl Meets World was okay because there was some episodes in season 2 that went back to focus on some of the original characters. And then season 3 veered away from that and I stopped watching. Raven's Home did the same thing. There was some stuff and I just veered away from it. This is doing that, but worse. Mac Morris sounds, it's the son of Zach Morris and Kelly Kapowski, but it sounds like a spoof or a parody. It sounds like a Zach Morris parody. You couldn't have found something, Samuel Morris after Screech, or even Richie Morris after Belding, which makes more sense. But you call him Mac Morris, and it sounds like a parody of Zach Morris. And that's all he is. He's Zach Morris times 10 and worse than Zach Morris ever was. Then you have, J.D. Spano, which is their version of Slater, down to the fucking initials. And he's a mama's boy. What? No. I get it. They want to say that the kids from nowadays are more coddled. Sure. But he wants ants on a log and to be sang to or something. And then you have these characters that come in from the new school. It's not bad to do that. But, okay, so you have the one main character, April or something like that. She's running for class president against Mac Morris. There's some scheme where she becomes president and then she decides to take the parking spot because she doesn't have a car and use that for the bus. That's cool. But then you have this big black guy, right, African American guy, who Slater wants to be on a football team, and in a normal sitcom, he would be. But no, we gotta be fundamental. We gotta be progressive. So he wants to be a singer. But who's gonna play football? The black girl. Despite the fact that women can't play football, yet they keep doing this. And there's nothing against women playing football. I have nothing against it. It's just that clearly in real life, that would never happen. At least it hasn't yet. I mean, if we have a female... Hey, I'm all for it, by the way. If women want to play football, I'm all for it. I'm not against it at all. You know? But I'm just saying, it hasn't happened. And probably never will. I mean, we got some driving cars in the NASCAR. You know, female tennis players have been a thing for a while. I don't have a problem with women playing football. It's just that it probably won't ever happen. I don't know why, but it probably won't. And that's why I don't really like this show. It's trying to be something that it's not. It's trying to be progressive. It's trying to be cool instead of just being Saved by the Bell. The one thing I do like about this is the principal, played by John Michael Higgins. He's been pretty good in everything I've seen him in. He's good here. But other than that, this is not Saved by the Bell. This is an attempt to revamp it, make it cool, and be progressive like most of the stuff that's going on today. Why the hell can't we just get a show that's a sitcom and not trying to be progressive and cool and have these characters that are all about the LGBT movement or the Me Too movement or stuff like that? Just go back to the days like this where you have a regular sitcom with characters, cliche characters. That's what a sitcom is about. That's what TV shows are about. But everything in movies and TV nowadays is about being cool or being progressive or having an LGBT lead or having a black lead or a Chinese lead or being cool like that. I'm not against that. But don't go out of your way to take something, call it Saved by the Bell, and make it something up to your agenda. Because that's not it. Okay? This is... What we have presented to us is not Saved by the Bell. And I'm kind of glad that I'm only able to watch the first episode because I probably won't watch anymore. I have no desire to watch any more of this shit. Hashtag not my Saved by the Bell. Alright? I'm not against being progressive, but this is not how you go about it. You don't take something, disguise it as something that people have grown up with, and then make it your own bullshit. Okay? What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one.